Robbo, you said after Tuesday night's game that it was a real men's performance from the boys. I guess the ultimate test of those characteristics now is Wycombe on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. They're a very mature side with lots of know-how. I think the average age of their squad is 30, I believe. So completely different end of the scale to us. So with that, you've got loads of experience, loads of know-how. Obviously a fantastic manager who's done a great job there for many years. So it's following on from the Accrington game. It is going to be the ultimate test to see if we can put in another real mature performance, particularly off the ball, and then stamp our authority on the game on the ball.
When you go to a place like Accrington now and you get 3 points in those conditions, in some ways it feels like more than that. Is that a game that we can draw real belief from for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's the reason I felt excited and stimulated by the performance, Chris, is that in that sort of game there are so many opportunities to make mistakes and make poor decisions, because it's really, really difficult. And I just thought the players showed a real level of maturity in their decision making, because it's the sort of game you make one pass too many, or you misplace a pass, or you lose your technique in certain areas because, as I said, the ball was literally coming back the other way with the wind. And I just thought, their recognition of when to get it on the grass and play, and when to clear their lines, and the levels of communication that are needed to take responsibility and take control of situations, because if you hesitate you can get undone. It was just all those things, and on Saturday we'll be coming up against a team who do what they do brilliantly well, and you're going to need all those things to get a positive performance. So that's what excited me, because there's been games this season, you look at Gillingham and various Shrewsbury, I could list 4 or 5 games where we should have come away with 3 points or a point, and we haven't, and it's down to those things. But at the same time I've realised that's where we are, because we're young and we're only going to get better, and they're learning. So on Tuesday night it felt like they'd been taking everything we do on board in terms of ownership, and it felt like a step forward. But like anything in life, nothing's permanent. Tuesday night was Tuesday night, and they now need to show that they are working on towards these sort of behavioural things becoming a permanent thing.
And you spoke last season, it was quite a big thing about having that attacking edge. Has that really come into play recently? The players seem to be doing things naturally now.
Yeah, and I think when things weren't going so well in certain games, again, we'd sort of lose our structure a little bit, because, and again, it's pure enthusiasm, because they're so desperate to do well that sometimes we'd lose our structure, we'd lose our width, and players would start doing their own thing, but not in a selfish way, just because they want to affect a game, and possibly they hadn't seen the ball for a while. Where again, on Tuesday night and other games, we haven't done that now. They're realising how important it is to play off of a structure. They know I'll give them the freedom to make their own decisions and be exciting, etc. But you still have to play off of a structure. And I think that's what we've been doing more recently, and we've reaped the reward, hence the number of goals we've been scoring.
We're certainly not usually short of support at Adams Park. Traditionally usually filled the away ends, the hold behind the goal there. What will that mean come Saturday for the boys?
Yeah, again, I said on Tuesday, you just feel like something's brewing. I think there's a real understanding now in the club of what we're trying to do. I don't know if that stemmed from what the club did, with the article, etc. But I think there's a real understanding, which is important when you're trying to build anything or do anything. You need clarity throughout, and it's never more important than us being a fan-owned club that everyone understands what we're trying to do. And I felt it in the cup game. The cup game, I just felt that the home end there was, again there was different songs coming out. It was like their willingness to do well, even in the moments when you're struggling a little bit. And Tuesday night, it was exactly the same. I feel like everyone's understanding what we want to achieve together, and probably realising that it's not going to be smooth. No road is smooth. So yeah, we can't wait. And as always, we've got to give them something to be excited about, and we've got to show that aggressiveness off the ball, etc. And it's just the fact of all being in together, and there's nothing more powerful than everyone coming together with one cause.
One man who's been a key part of the recent great form, Ollie Palmer. How was he after playing 90 minutes the other night? He was a bit touch and go before that game.
Yeah, he's okay. Unfortunately, we had a slight hiccup with Prez. We wasn't sure if he was going to be okay, so we couldn't name him on the bench, but he's come through training today, so we didn't really have another forward option unless, you know, put someone like Egley down the middle or Rudy. So Ollie sort of had to do the 90. But I think the nature of the game, because it was quite bitty and there was lots of delays, ball going out for throwing a lot, we didn't quite cover the ground that we would normally have to cover. It was more about organisation. So, you know, all their running stats weren't quite as high as they'd normally have to be, because it was a very bitty game and the ball was out of play quite a lot. So he's fine.
So was that scan completely cleared, or is it something that needs to be managed?
Yeah, it's completely clear. It just shows it was like a 0, which means it was more DOMs than anything. So it's just something you have to just keep an eye on, but there's no actual tear there. It's just like a little bit of fatigue, so it's just something you need to keep an eye on. So obviously we've got the game Saturday, and then we've got a week leading into Portsmouth, so everything should be fine.
Perhaps learning lessons there from around the time of the Arsenal game, where perhaps went on too far and then pushed himself too much.
Yeah, because all players want to, you know, they all want to play, but you know, and that's why I asked Tim to do the scan nice and early so that we knew there was no doubt, which is good, and psychologically that helps the player when he knows there's no doubt. So yeah, as you said, we're all learning every day.
Good news with other players on the way back, which you've mentioned before. Shea Alexander seems to think he might be back for Boxing Day. That could be a real boost, couldn't it?
Yeah, I've had an update from Tim and Shea possibly before Christmas now, which is great. I believe Will now might be after Christmas, possibly before Christmas, but now it might be a week or two after Christmas. But to be honest, it's a bonus, because at first I thought we probably wouldn't be getting Will back till February, so anything in January is a bonus with Will. So again, that just strengthens the squad, gives us more options, so it's good.
So Shea could be full training like next week, maybe?
Yeah, Shea could be back full training, yeah, back in with the boys soon, yeah.
Great news. And this time last year, remarkably, we were on the same points as the same games, but then came that real slump towards January. But yeah, we're in better shape this time around, do you think, to avoid something like that?
I don't know. I don't really. I think it's disrespectful to Glyn to talk about what shape we were in then and what shape we're in now. All I know is that I feel we're in a really good place on and off the pitch. You know, I feel that the players are taking a massive degree of ownership, which is vitally for me important in terms of where we want to go. I think, you know, there's been very few poor performances. There's been moments where we haven't been where we want to be. So I just feel that we're in a really good place, ready to kick on, and that's all that matters. I don't think past stats and all that, I'm not into all that, you know, that is, we are where we are now, and I feel we're in a very good place, ready to kick on, and that's all that matters.
Let's hope so. Thanks for joining us, Robbo.
Oh, cheers, Chris. Thank you.